So I'm here in Kyoto, Japan at the Fushimi Inari Shrine, and today I'm going to show you a couple of the best luxury hotel properties you can pick when you're coming to Kyoto. So before I get into this breakdown of awesome hotel stays that we're doing here in Kyoto and showing you a couple different options and how to book them and why you may want to pick one over another, I want to just talk a little bit about Kyoto for a second, because Kyoto is one of my favorite cities in the world. This is such a beautiful, beautiful city. It's a must visit on pretty much any avid traveler's bucket list. Japan as a whole is a country you've got to come to, but specifically Kyoto is an amazing place because it's really like the cultural heritage capital of Japan. If you want to see ancient shrines and temples and dojos and places like this that have just amazing, I feel like you're bringing you back centuries, this is the place to come. Tokyo has a lot of really cool things too. I love Tokyo, like also you got to go, but it's a different feeling, and the history here and this kind of unique architecture, if you will, is something that you're really going to find more here in Kyoto. There's also a lot of beautiful nature. There's still a ton to see with the city and the nightlife and the restaurants and the food and the Gion district, where like a lot of like the traditional geisha and stuff are from. All of that stuff is based out of here in Kyoto. It's pretty easy to get to. It's just a 2-hour train ride on the Shinkansen, or aka the bullet train from Tokyo, and there's tons of great hotel options. Again, so it just means this is a place you got to come. Now, if you were flying directly in, you could actually fly into Osaka, Kansai Airport, KIX in Osaka, and it's about 45 minutes from there. So very accessible, easy to get to from international destinations, and just a must-do on the list. Now, we are here in middle of March, so it's about to be cherry blossom season. So right now behind me, you can see the trees are still green, but in a few weeks, this is going to be just flooded with these pink cherry blossom trees. And I have been here for cherry blossom season before. It is spectacular. It's also extremely crowded, and it's worth seeing for sure. We're going to be back in Tokyo on this trip for cherry blossoms. So if you come and you can time with cherry blossoms, definitely worthwhile. Just expect more crowds, higher demand on a hotel, stuff like that, but something worth doing. If you come before, time like this is beautiful. It's amazing weather, really cool. The fall is also great. The summer, really, really hot. So I'd probably try to pick spring or fall if you have the flexibility. And with that, let's get into the best options for luxury hotel stays, specifically if you really want to maximize points here in Kyoto. All right, so I'm here at the Ritz-Carlton Kyoto now. This is our first stay in Kyoto. We have 2 backpack stays at really, really nice properties. So I want to share a little bit about the options here in Kyoto if you're looking for a really luxury stay, and particularly if you want to do one on points, what you really have to work with and why we chose the ones we did. So firstly, as I mentioned, I'm at the Ritz. Now, part of the reason I wanted to do the Ritz is because first off, I just love Ritz-Carltons. They're consistently incredible across the board, and they also have a really high standard of excellence. And when you combine that with a high standard of excellence in Japan overall, I was like, I can't imagine how good it is. I love the service at Ritz-Carltons. I love the service in Japan. So what is a Ritz-Carlton in Japan going to be like? So I was like, I got to try it out. I ended up finding some pretty good deals, and this property can be booked for anywhere from about 88,000 points per night up to 135,000 points per night on average. But there are other options here. There's other Marriott properties, there's some non-points hotel properties, and there's also some really good Hyatt properties if you want to use points there. Now, you'll hear that I didn't really mention Hilton. Now, first off, I'm not a big fan of the Hilton points program, but in addition to that, there's just not a lot of great Hilton properties in Kyoto. There is a Hilton Kyoto, and then there's the SLH properties that they recently acquired. But if we keep those off the list, then there's really 5 or 6 main properties that you're going to want to choose between. Now, I'll dive more into the properties I'm staying at here in a minute, but some of the ones I'm not staying at that you may want to actually consider would be the Park Hyatt here in Kyoto. You may want to look at the Amman property or the Four Seasons. Now, the Amman and the Four Seasons are not going to be eligible for point redemptions, at least not in an effective way. You can technically use your points through a site like Amex Travel, through the bank portal, but again, that is never good value, so I really don't suggest that unless you're sitting on tons and tons of points and you really want to use them for a specific stay, but just know that it's not going to be optimal value. But if you were going to book one of those, then you want to do one of 2 things for sure. You either, number one, want to go through a luxury travel advisor who's going to get you premium perks and benefits. It's basically like having elite status without having it. And if you go through the right one, they're going to know how to get you the best rates, the best upgrades, the on-site credits, the free breakfast, all that stuff. That's going to be a really powerful tool for you. And oftentimes they're going to get better discounts than you'll see online on sites like Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts. Now, if you don't have access to a good travel agent, we do have some connections actually internally at our team, but the second option for you would be to go through the Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts collection. Now, these can actually be very, very solid, and I've done other videos breaking these down. And for example, recently I was in Switzerland and we got upgraded to a suite that was over $2,000 per night for 2 nights just from having this one perk on the Amex Platinum card. And as a reminder, this Fine Hotels and Resorts perk does come on the Amex Personal Platinum and Business Platinum. So if you hold either of these, that will work for these stays. And basically the way to use this is you're just going to go right onto the Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts site. You'll search up your property. So you're going to look through the calendar for dates that work for you. And then you just see the various rates that they're going to offer. But sometimes what you're going to find is that they have really cool promotions like a third or fourth night free or other really powerful amenities and perks that you can get. So mind you, those properties are going to be very expensive, at least compared to your other options. But if you want to come to Kyoto and have the ultimate luxury, those are probably your best two options. Now, there's two other main points properties that I'm not staying at here in Kyoto that I would recommend. The first is going to be the Park Hyatt, which is clearly a part of the Hyatt portfolio. And the second is going to be the Serene Hotel, which is a part of the luxury collection here at Marriott. So the one thing to know about the Serene Hotel is that it's going to be a little further outside of the city. So if you want to go a little bit more out into nature, it is right on the river. That could be a good option for you. But if you want to be in downtown Kyoto and close to the action, it's not really going to cut it. Now, the Park Hyatt, on the other hand, could probably be a really good option for you, especially if you hold globalist status at Hyatt like I do. And I would have actually probably chosen to stay at this property, but for the dates that I'm coming, because it's close to peak season, they were fully sold out and they didn't have any points options available. Now, depending on when you're coming, those properties could be anywhere from $500 a night to $2,000 a night. In the peak seasons like this, where it's close to cherry blossoms, or in the fall when the leaves are changing, you could expect it to be closer to that $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 night rate. Whereas if you're in off-peak dates, maybe the winter or really the peak heat of summer, you might see options that are a little bit cheaper. So that brings me to the two properties I did choose to stay at, which is clearly the Ritz-Carlton here, and then the Hotel Mitsui, which is another Marriott property here in Kyoto. Now, similar to the Serene, the Mitsui is a part of the luxury collection, and from checking this thing out, it looks absolutely incredible. So the rest of this video is really going to be a comparison between these two main properties, what I experienced here at the Ritz-Carlton and what I experienced at the Mitsui here in Kyoto. So let's go check it out. So we're here at the Ritz-Carlton in Kyoto, Japan, and this place is opulent, just like beautiful, amazing decor, just a really, really simple but luxurious vibe. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the same level of opulence at the Park Hyatt in Paris. All right, so we got an awesome upgrade to the deluxe Riverview room. Now this is two doubles, and Bryn's brother is visiting with us, so we've got a nice little rollaway bed there too, which they're very accommodating for. So come check it out. Okay, so we've got the little bar set up over here. These slide out. There we go. Awesome. So we got our alcohol section and some snacks down here. Looks like a few different teas, of course. Huge tea culture here. Let's see. This looks like maybe the coffee and plate setup. Wow. I love it. I love it. Just such a good feel. Beautiful. Wow. Oh my gosh. Maybe the nicest coffee and tea setup I've ever seen in a hotel. That's incredible. Kettle, waters, coffee machine. Everything in Japan is just like no space is wasted. Got the setup here, the rollaway bed, and then here's the two doubles next to each other. Awesome bathroom and shower setup too. Very sweet welcome gift here. And this is a balcony that in the morning we'll see. Check it out. The Kamagawa River right here. It's a little patio. You can hear the river running right now. Beautiful. And about 30 minutes ago was even more epic of a sunrise right there, which is really cool. I'm sure in a couple weeks when these turn into cherry blossoms, it's going to be just unfathomably gorgeous. But even now, without the cherry blossoms, it's still a beautiful, beautiful view. We're loving it. Bryn is having a great time here. What do you think of this place, baby?
It's so beautiful.
She said it's so beautiful. And this room is just full of these little surprises. So I walked in yesterday, I saw this thing. We were exhausted, so I didn't really take a look, but I was like, I wonder what that is. You open it up, and it is another really cool looking tea set here. Beautiful setup, wow. And then you've got the actual tea bags right in here. Amazing. Okay, so we're definitely gonna use this. And then of course, it has its own little like box place for it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Okay, so I made it to the Hotel Mitsui here in Kyoto, and this is an upgrade to a one-bedroom suite that we just got, so let's check it out. Right upon the entrance, you got the big bedroom. Now, I found out that this is based off of a traditional tea ceremony room, is what they said. Really cool setup here. And speaking of, you've got your tea and coffee right here, all the accoutrement to go with that, wine and drinks, and I guess this is the mini fridge. Yep, there we go. beautiful, nice living room space and some welcome gifts. Very sweet of them. Great little workstation set up here. This is nice. I always love when they have a 1-bedroom. When you can get that just for the suite, it's so much better. Bathroom set up here. I really like it. It just feels brand new, to be honest. And I don't know the year the property opened currently, but it has a feeling like this just opened like really recently. Got a couple robes. Nice, big shower and bath. So you got the waterfall shower there, plus the TV. That's cool. Inside of the tub. You've got your closet set up here, and then the bedroom, of course, right here. So 2 windows with views to the courtyard, it looks like. And I did think this is pretty cool too, the way they have the knobs all set up. Check that out. It's gonna raise or lower the shades here. Nice big bed. Comes with a Bose speaker here. Yeah, nice view here. You can see the mountains in the background. So I hope you really enjoyed this breakdown of a couple different options of amazing stays that you could have in Kyoto. Of course, there are many more, and when I go back, I do plan to check some of those out. Particularly, I would really love to know what the Park Hyatt experience would be like. Now, between the two, the Ritz-Carlton in Kyoto and Hotel Mitsui, again, both Marriott properties, if I went back again, I would probably pick the Mitsui for a few main reasons. Number one, I just like the open vibe of the venue a little bit more. I really enjoyed their spa, their gym, their facilities and amenities, and I thought the location was just a little bit better, closer to some major sites, castles, restaurants, things like that. So that's my overall takeaway, and if you go to Kyoto, I hope you check one of these out and enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.